What a dominating, absolutely dominating win. 30 to nothing. The Miami Dolphins completely destroyed the New York Jets, and we have a lot to talk about. What is up, Finn fans? The Miami Dolphins 10-4, sitting number one in the AFC East. Unfortunately, still 2 games in number one because the Dallas Cowboys suck. They are not good. And Josh Allen threw for what, 94 yards? We'll see how it all pans out next week, but Miami Dolphins still number one in the AFC East. If the Jaguars lose tonight, the Dolphins will be number one in the AFC, but as of right now, we are number 2, sitting at number 1 in the AFC East, a 2-game lead on Buffalo. Now let's jump into some stats. Now the game started with Zach Wilson, 4 for 11, 26 passing yards. He had a 44.9 passer rating. And then they brought in Trevor Siemian, who was 14 for 26, 110 yards, 2 interceptions, and 32.5 passer rating. Breece Hall had 6 carries for 12 yards, no run. Their leading receiver is Xavier Gibson, who had 29 yards off of 2 catches, and then Garrett Wilson had 29 yards off of 3 catches. Alan Lazard had 21 yards off the 3 catches. Trevor Siemian fumbled. Zach Wilson fumbled. They had 3 sacks on the game. Solomon Thomas had a sack. Quinnen Williams had half a sack, along with McDonald, and Bryce Huff had a sack. 3 sacks on the day, which isn't bad. And I'm going to get into talking about their defense because a lot of people are already poo-pooing and kind of moving the goalpost and all that stuff. But I'm looking at this stat. No interceptions, no kick returns, no punt returns. There's a lot of fair catching. And then you look on the Miami Dolphins side. Tua Tagovailoa, 21 for 24. He missed 3 passes, 224 yards, 1 touchdown with 119.4 passer rating without Tyreek Hill. I'm going to get into it real quick. Without Tyreek Hill, missed 3 passes, 119.4 passer rating, and a touchdown. A beautiful deep pass to Jalen Waddle. And a lot of people were like, oh, what can Tua do without Tyreek Hill? Tua's nothing without Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill makes Tua blah, blah, blah. And I'm not discounting that the fact that Tyreek Hill makes this offense better. And Tyreek Hill does make Tua better. But to sit here and say that Tua's nothing without Tyreek Hill, he proved it. Then I've said that, and people were like, you faced the Jets. The Jets had the number 3 total defense and the number 2 passing defense. So now all of a sudden, since it's a narrative that is kaposhed, people want to say, well, it's just the Jets, when the Jet defense was their shining spot of their team. Now all of a sudden it's just the Jets. Yeah, no one can just say, yeah, no, Tua did really well without Tyreek Hill. Surprised. Good for him. Keep it up. No one can just say that. They have to be like, oh, well, that's because the sun was shining on my eyes. Sad. It's sad. You just can't give someone credit when they do well. And it's just a sad thing. I called him out when he almost threw an interception. I have a butthole pucker. I call him out when he doesn't do well, but I also give him the praise when he does well. And 21 for 24, 224 yards, 1 touchdown, and 119.4 passer rating without Tyreek Hill on the field. I'm happy. Going up against a top 5 defense, it's good to me. You might think differently. Mike White came in. He was 2 for 2, threw for 4 yards, 79.2 pass rating. Not much there. Raheem Mostert, 15 carries, 42 yards, 2 touchdowns. He has now 18 touchdowns on the season rushing. I think he has 20 altogether. Passes Ricky Williams with the Miami Dolphins franchise single-season rushing touchdown. He had a 2.8 average when it came to his rushing. Devon Achane My screen just glitched. Devon Achane, 9 carries, 32 yards, 3.6 yards per carry. Jalen Waddle, 8 catches, 142 yards, and that long 60-yard touchdown pass. Durham Smythe got in the action, 4 for 32, and Devon Achane, 3 for 30. Zach Sealer and Bradley Chubb with the fumble recovery, but the star of this game was the defense. But most importantly, the star of this game was Bradley Chubb. 7 total tackles, 5 solo tackles, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 3 quarterback hits. Bradley Chubb was a beast. The defense in a whole had 6 sacks. Half a sack for Duke Riley, half a sack for AVG, half a sack for Christian Wilkins, 1 sack for Sealer, half a sack for Emmanuel Ogbah. We were tormenting that Jet offense. Altogether, that Jet offense did nothing. Brandon Jones with the 2 interceptions. Braxton Berrios had some nice returns. But when you look at it as a team, one more time, as a team, total yards, Miami Dolphins 290 to the Jets 103. 4 turnovers for the Jets, 16 first downs to 11 for the Jets, and the Dolphins had the ball for 36 minutes and 21 seconds to the Jets 23 minutes and 39 seconds. We destroyed them. And again, I'll repeat, the Jets have a good defense. A lot of people are already going to, downplay what this team did and downplay how well they played and everything because it's the Jets. But I'm just going to go back and we're going to look at real quick this Jets defense. 5 total defense. 2nd in passing defense. 8th in scoring defense. And we dropped 30 on them. They're averaging 19.8 points per game. We dropped 30 on them. Passing, they're averaging 162.2. We dropped 200 and something on them. But again, we were playing the Jets. It had nothing to do with anything. We were playing the Jets. It's just, can't give credit where credit's due. The defense played fantastic. The offense had a few hiccups here and there. And I noticed that Mike McDaniel's still trying to get cute. He likes to throw the bubble screens. He likes to throw that one play where he fakes pitches it one way and then he tosses it the other way. And he likes to go horizontal a lot. And instead of just going vertical, trying to push the ball up the field, he's trying to get the speed and the trickeration on the outsides. I'm not liking that as much, especially against a very physical team like the Jets, and we're going to be facing the Cowboys. More vertical, up and down, back and forth. How do you do? Outside of that, there's not much for me to complain about with this game. This Dolphin team was, doing fantastic. 4th and 5, I thought they were the 4th and 5, boom, converted. Huge, beautiful play. I honestly thought they were just going to try to draw them off sides. And I think the fact that the Jets thought we were going to try to draw them off sides is why they probably were just very lackadaisical, kind of just relaxed. Like, oh, they're trying to get us to jump. I'm going to relax. They're not going to. And then we ran a play with 1 second left on the play clock. Great play there. Julian Hill, again, negates some nice plays with a holding call. And then 2 penalties when Mike White came in. So after we scored, I think we scored the sack, after Bradley Chubb strip sack recovery, we took all the starters out on offense and defense. There was still a ton of time left in the 4th quarter. I think like 5-6 minutes. We took everyone out. All starters, you're done. We're up 30-0. There's 5 minutes left in the game. You're coming out. And there's 2 penalties that killed 2 good plays. A nice run from Achane, and then I think another run that were negated off of penalties. The only bad thing I will say about this game is just a little too cute on the plays calling. Instead of going vertical, he went a little horizontal, went more sideline to sideline, just going down the field. I got nothing bad to say about the defense at all. I think the defense played fantastic. Penalties. Just clean up the penalties. But I think the offensive line played well. I think everyone on the defense played well. I think Tua played well without Tyreek Hill. That was a big narrative, and I think he squashed that. Tomorrow I'll give you more in-depth. So what we're going to do tomorrow is I'm going to title the video tomorrow playoff update, but it's also going to be a little bit of a deeper dive. I'm going to give you a both tomorrow because we'll see what happens tonight with the Ravens, how that'll affect the playoff update and all that stuff. But we needed this win. And I kept saying all week, you can't lose to the Jets. Change the narrative. Change the narrative. The Miami Dolphins are now 2-1 in December. They blew out the Jets. It's not like and I said, I don't care how they win. If we win by 1, we win by whatever. I want to win. And I said the Dolphins will win 28-14. They were like, hey, we'll give you 2 more points and we won't let them score any points, Doug. And I said, I appreciate you. 30-0. The Dolphins destroyed the Jets. Jets have been officially eliminated from the playoff race, but the Bills did win. So now it's about Miami taking care of business. If Miami, it doesn't matter at this point. If the Miami Dolphins can beat the Cowboys, and I'll go more into this tomorrow, if the Miami Dolphins can beat the Cowboys and beat the Ravens, they will win the division because they'll be 2 games up, and it doesn't matter what Buffalo does, they can't catch up. So that Week 18 game could still mean nothing if the Miami Dolphins can show they belong and beat the Cowboys and beat the Ravens. Big next couple weeks. The playoffs start now for Miami. Keep winning. Keep fighting hard. 10-4. People had us going, I think, over under 9 wins. So anyone who took the over on that, you're going to make your money. Huge win. I'm very happy with the bounce back. I'm very happy with the bounce back from Bradley Chubb. If you saw after the game, he took his hat off. He had a 15 written under the brim of his hat. Everyone's thinking about Jalen Phillips. He would help so much being out there. That's the other thing. Real quick before I hop out of here. No Javon Holland. No Elliott. No Xavier Howard. No Connor Williams. No Isaiah Wynn. No Robert Hunt. No Tyreek Hill. And we're going to sit here and people are going to say, yeah, it was just the Jets. Get out of here. 30-0 with what? 7 starters I just named, possibly 9. Jalen Phillips, that's 8. Miss me with that. I'll see you guys tomorrow with the deeper dive. Later tonight, I'm going to put out the best of live stream. But I'll see you guys tomorrow with the deeper dive and where we're sitting at in the playoff situation. But other than that, like usual, stay classy. FN's up.